you know about love?
Love you.
This man got me freaking out here.
This is a love song.
Seriously.
This is a love song.
Nah, like seriously.
'Cause my love and calling.
I was trying to find a different thing to say because I always say your family, right? But my recent thoughts about how community and family and all of us are connected, and how love and, you know, the person that we turn out to be and all that starts in the home, I will continue to say yo family. Yo family, what's up? It's Rebel Glam. Wanna good? I see something in my hair here, so wanna good? I good. I've come to talk about one of my favorite subject today. No, you know how it is. You do a blog and you say peace and love. Not too many people can watch it, but I don't blog for people to watch it. Anyhow, I blog because people often tell me in my life that I need my own show because I like to talk enough, right? I got a lot of things to say and a lot of things that I feel need to be said and nobody is saying, so I blog, you know. But as I'm saying here now, if I put a blog and I say, so you want to be a scabicle, you know, you get views to suit the title, lots of views. If you do a blog and you say, I'm so thankful that I was born, nobody ain't really care. People be like, good for you, you know what I mean? I ain't got no time to watch that. So we'll see how it goes with this one. But this blog is called, let me find a name because I know what I want to say but I don't have a name yet. This blog is called Why the Sex Got Boring by Rebel Glam. So that's what's in the sauce and that's what I'm cooking up today. Now, Hazi and I was sitting on last night, you know, the king and I, the queen, were having a conversation and we were talking about other people, of course, not us, not names in particular, but behaviors. And we were talking about sexual behaviors in people. And he was saying that he believes that there's some people that be just worthless, and it's a standard thing in society for men to be just worthless, but it's a problem when women get just worthless, you know. And the truth is, because even though men are allowed to do it, they don't want their women to do it. And I always say, if you don't want something for your mother or your sister, why should you want it for yourself? Now, for the majority of the time, society is ruled by men. So if men don't like worthless for anybody but themselves, then we women have a problem. Because for any time that one of us is worthless is a big issue now. I would say, you know, I see some women walking about and I realize that their biggest issue is not worthlessness at all. Their biggest issue is self-esteem and caring about what other people think of them. Now, I say this because you would see a woman put so much effort into her appearance and things, and she walking about with an old scallywag looking man that look real pop right down. I don't have that sort of problem. I have always, from the beginning of time, been in love with people that look good, even if it was on TV. Boris Kajo is my old husband from way back when I was young, you know what I mean? Because I used to watch Soul Food just for he. I like to see men that look a certain way. I would not tell a lie. I also like to see women that look a certain way, no homo or H-O-E homo, neither. Alright? But I like to see people, you know, carrying themselves a certain way and look like they're taking care of themselves and stuff. Because nowadays we have this false sense of taking care of yourself, where you see people and the truth is they have their hair done, or if it's a woman, their hair, their nails and so on. But when you look at them, elbows scruffy, she face look tired, you know, she ain't got no good skin, things like that prove to me that really and truly you're not taking as good care of yourself as you want people to believe. Because some people believe that having money to go to KFC every week, and I'm sorry KFC that always using you, that have money to go Shafet every week, you understand, and able to buy Shafet for their children and don't have no time to cook. A lot of people think that is taking care of yourself because of money. But money is not everything, and I think we really need to look at nutrition. How clean somebody's skin is and stuff like that says a lot about their life and how they're taking care of themselves. I'm not her hating on people with hormonal problems and acne, or just saying what I like to see. Anyway, so back to the sex getting boring now. So the problem, in my husband's opinion, is that they got a lot of women out there that's be naturally worthless and thing. So just because you see somebody being worthless does not mean that the sex in their relationship is boring. It might be in their actual makeup to be worthless. No, this man is a man that I married because we're very like-minded, and I hardly ever disagree with him when I actually hear his argument. Sometimes I disagree with him before I hear the argument, but when I hear the argument, I can still roll with it, even if it ain't fully my way of thinking, right? But what I would say for this one is that I said to myself, well, yeah, alright, in that case it could happen, but I don't think that that's the norm. I think the normal reason why sexes get boring to people is not to do with them being worthless in a relationship and wanting more because of their actual worthlessness. A lot of times it's to do with the relationship itself, and I'm sure that you would agree with me, right, baby? Yeah, because the thing about it is, you go into a relationship and everything in the relationship imperfect, and you hear people say things like the sex is what keeping them together. Sex can't keep nobody together for that long, because like even how we are right now, we're not perfect. Our bodies, we die. So for any time you start to get a certain age, you start to get all these problems and stuff like that. If your relationship is sexually charged, what can happen in the times when you can't have sex? I think the issue is, you know, somebody's sexes get boring. It's not because of people being not open-minded, though. The Better Health magazine, a woman writing and say her husband is or she man, whatever, he conservative outside the bedroom and he conservative inside the bedroom. That's a problem. I'm not saying that anybody have to let their meat get pulled, because I don't believe in that. But what I am saying is, see how that expression grew up on me? Frig you, Matrix. Anyhow, I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying is, we get ourselves in position where we are having sex for the complete wrong reason. No, it's all cool and good for me and you to be in a relationship, and me and you to be getting along, and me to be open-minded about you. But suppose we aren't getting along. Suppose I don't trust you. Suppose I do have issues with you. It makes it a lot harder for me to go all out sexually. It makes it a lot harder for me not to be conservative. And it also makes me a lot harder to be giving. And in sex, women need someone who's going to be willing to take time to be giving, to do what she needs. Every woman is not going to come just like this. It's not going to be a simple thing for every woman. Watch my video on female ejaculation. The person who actually speaks in that video is none other than the marvelous Aisha Noura, and she actually is an empowerment motivator, and she talks about sexuality and about orgasms and how they can benefit your life and stuff like that. People often call her my twin because we have a lot of similarities. We have a lot of differences too, but that's my girl to the end, and I think watching that video would help you a lot. It has thousands of views. It's my most viewed video, and it's not even me, because people really do want to hear about women and orgasms and stuff like that. But my thing is, orgasm, something out here biting me, so I hurrying up. Female orgasm is not a simple thing. And even for a man, it's a mental thing. But a man has a basic motion, up and down, right? A basic motion. That's, you understand? No matter how he walk out, no matter what he's doing, right? There's a basic motion going on with the penis. With women, it's not so simple. You understand? We have all these different trigger points, and if we think too much, we mess up ourselves, and we have all these things going on. Now, if we're not willing to develop a relationship with somebody, there is a chance that we might find somebody who matches us sexually, and it might be good and everything. But suppose you wonder who else he's dealing with. Suppose you got issues with this man on a different level. Then there's only a certain amount of time that the sex could be good. In the romantic stage where everything is be hot and sexy, and where he's text you and call you all the time and stuff like that. But when he really get to know you, and when he start moving certain ways and doing certain things that you may not like, are y'all gonna be able to keep up the sex then? My advice is always, always, always commitment, stable relationships. Look for somebody to marry. It's not about how many people you foop or about who you foop. It's about fooping one person and getting it done right. The truth of the matter is that nobody wants to be with someone that they can't trust. And the only way to have somebody you can trust is if you have that person committed to you. In this world, people are dying left and right, but yet all these songs, all the propaganda in the media, if you listen to the lyrics of the stuff that is being pushed out right now, they always push this right now attitude. Do it right now. Have your fun right now. Don't worry about tomorrow. Rihanna has a song like that, and Neil has a song like that, and it's all about forget about your past. Don't worry about who you were. We're not judging you, and don't worry about who you're gonna be. Just worry about now. But we all know the reason why a person is going to go to China in 2012, December 1st, and come back December 31st, even though it will cost the whole money that they had if they're really fascinated with China, is because they want to say they did it, because the past does matter. And we all know that even though we're not supposed to be judged by our past, our everyday living is supposed to help us have a better future and have memories to hold on to. We don't want to be living a life full of mistakes. So we can't only think about right now. We have to live in now, but we have to think about the future. We have to think about, well, hey, do I want a child from this person? And you know, it is always serious. There is never a time when something like sex, something that brings life into the world, is not serious. Even though we try not to make it serious, it is. Because even if we ain't thinking about it, and neither is the other person that we had sex with that we don't care about, the little HPV cells on your cervix be thinking about it. You know, 80% of people who have sex just get problems from HPV. There's a lot of studies that we need to look at when it comes to things, but we're so caught up with AIDS because that's the killer. We all know there's a lot of things worse than death. Huh? Like cancer because you got cancer on your cervix. That seems kind of sucky to me. Right? So be careful about who you fool in the first place, and their history and what you're doing with yourself. I think somebody down there. Oh. I would also like to say that there's a lot that people can do if they are in committed relationships to stop sex from being boring. And one of those things is to be busy and have a life. For the time that you have a life outside of who you're with, and I'm not saying that you should make a life trying to exclude that person just so you can be excited to see them, but as long as you have different stuff going on where you can't be with that person all the time, it teaches you, I believe, to cherish the moments that you have together more. And another thing that I would really say is that we need to learn communication. You have to be able to tell somebody where you about, where you ain't about, and you also have to be giving. So just because tonight is not about where you about, but your partner want to be where you are, wherever, make a little sacrifice, because a lot of the times when you make the sacrifice, it turns out to be way better than you ever expected. It is up to you to make sure that your relationship is good, that your relationship has that sexiness in it, and don't let nobody try to make you feel as though the sexy part ain't important. Because what's happened to a lot of people in conservative society because of Christianity and stuff like that, which is not a bad thing within itself, but it's how people use it, is the one thing we're not willing to talk about is sex. Sex turned into talking about something like stool. From the time you say dicky, people got the most. Did she just say dicky? Did Rubber Glam just say dicky on this bit? Rubber Glam said dicky B? Yes, Rubber Glam said dicky. From the time that you do that, people starting to feel funny. And who ain't feel funny want fool somebody. Because we're too worthless for no particular reason. If you're with somebody and on a one-on-one level, you ain't want to be intimate with them, is a problem. It does not mean you need to bring another person into your bedroom. It does not mean that you need to go and read a million self-help books. It does not mean that. Reading might help, but it really means that you need to look inside, go inside and see what is the relationship, why are you in it, you understand, and communicate your feelings to the person in a way that they can respectfully respond, rather than arguing with this person or cussing this person or dropping comments and dropping hints and being stinking. Because we have this tendency, right, to get angry and to be mean when we should be trying to communicate and show love. And the thing about it is that we women, as much as men think that we're hard to please, I think we're not as hard to please as they think that we are. And I think that men are not hard to please at all compared to most women. I think the issue is knowing the needs of your partner. I did a blog in the past and I said, if you do not know how to treat somebody, ask them how they want to be treated. Because a person can tell you what they're looking for if they really know themselves. At the end of the day, some of us don't know ourselves and everything is a problem, right? But we can't be like that. This morning I went to the supermarket, I showed a fella and he was with a girl. I just touched his hand and said, hi, you good? And he was like, yeah, sweet girl, you good? Every time I do that, the woman look at he and look up and she say, "You see he? Sorry, you see you? I'm talking to you today though." I don't know if she thought he was checking me out or what. I'm not saying that I understand her point, but she was there with him until I showed him, and then all of a sudden she didn't want to hear he called me sweet girl maybe. I don't know, but we can't be like that. We have to understand that our men and our women live in the world with other men and women, and they're with us for a reason. We not because we are their little doorstop for now, but because we are special and we are worth being with. And if you act like that, that's what you will bring out. You understand what I mean? No matter what you do in this world, you understand? And people ain't gonna agree with me, and people gonna always do what they want to do anyhow. So I can tell you, try and stay with one person and you're gonna be fooping 4 people. But what I'm trying to say is, don't expect not to get the effects of these things. There's a lot that we could sit as virgins with our legs shut and learn. We don't have to go and foop everybody to experience it. You understand? Some of that, nobody don't have to jump off a bridge to find out that is dead and splatter into the ground or into the water and drown or whatever. Some things we can learn from example, and there's enough examples out there for us to see quality. And what I am here to tell you, right, on December 5th 2012, right, is that good relationships do exist. Love can exist. 2 people can be together forever. You understand? Even if my relationship does not work out, which I sure hope it does, I believe this. You understand? So don't let nobody come with them little stinking negativity, right? I want to make you feel as though you have to settle because good enough is not out there. That is the problem. And in that case, why are we bothering with relationships? So no, some people ain't bothering, so people just fooping down the place. But yet, if you get treated like a whore or called a whore, you don't want to deal with it. Men as well. Men can't take it when a woman foop them and go on left, you know. They can't take it. The calling, she don't want to know what happened, blah, 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 blah. And the woman said, well, you wasn't saying nothing that break his heart for the rest of his life. So come, let's get real. Sex does evoke emotion. There is a lot that we need from others when we get into a relationship. Let us stop denying the facts. Some people don't listen to the Bible. Some people don't listen to this. I'm a Bible girl. There's a lot in the Bible that can help you and I and show us how to live life. The issue is when people take it and act like nobody ain't having sex. When God blame all through the Bible, men was having 10 wives and all sorts of things, and people was fooping prostitutes and all sorts of things, because people don't like to read the Bible and read it truthfully. They like to read it and be conservative with it. But we all know that conservative or not, every person on this earth that has a child get butt naked and walk up in somebody or upon somebody at some point in time. So let us be real. You understand? Time and place is all. Time and place. You understand? Anyhow, enough love. But you understand what I'm saying to you? Glam said, why the sex boring? Because the people got issues. From the time that the people are real with themselves about their issues, they can elevate to a point where everything can be better. The sex, the conversations, the dates, everything can be better. Swims in the sea, climbing a tree, eating a fruit can be better in this life when you are real with yourself and whoever you have to deal with, be it your children, your mate, whoever. Because at the end of the day, the world getting more and more fake. Fake food, fake everything. You understand? Fake things to watch on TV, fake posts on Facebook. Nothing ain't real. You always have to be asking, is it true? You always have to wonder to yourself, is it real? That's how fake the world is getting. But what is that really doing to us and our psyches, right? It's making us fake too. So we gotta wash that off and go back to the root and get back to the real, especially when we're looking at families. Because the truth is, we get about the place and we fooping people and we don't care, and you still eventually you can get catch, you can get a child, or you can kill a child. You understand? That's the reality of the situation. Neither of the two ain't easy. You understand? People's gotta live with things for the rest of their life, right? Because of little mistakes that they made, because they didn't think first, or because they weren't willing to communicate. And let me say lastly, if you're in a relationship and it is getting boring, work on that instead of hurting the body. Because if you wanted to leave the person, you would have left the person already, right? Now, I don't think the majority of people that watching my vlogs is gold diggers and people that real rich, that married to a man for his money, or a woman for the money or something like that. But even wanna, right? You put yourself now in a position where you're dealing with somebody for what they got. right? Now you're going on a road where you ain't happy with the relationship, but were you ever happy with it? How much do you need from them? Why can't you do for yourself? Can we get to a point where we are willing to be self-sufficient, go into a relationship whole and have something to offer rather than always being leeches? That is the most important thing. We're either a physical leech, an emotional leech, some kind of leech. We gotta stop with that, so that when we go into a relationship, if we realize that it's not working out, before it gets too deep and too messy, we can pull out of a relationship respectfully and still remain some sort of friends, as long as the person is mature enough to do so. Okay? Okay? Think about it. For real. Because at the end of the day, we just call things boring. Like, we sit down in the house and say we bored, when there's a whole world of things out there for us to learn and do. And then we want to get vexed when somebody else decide to go and do an album, or we want to get upset when somebody decide to write a book, or we want to get vexed when somebody else decide to save money and go up on a trip with a family or something like that. Why we vexed with that person when we say no, bored? Huh? How the sex get boring? How the relationship get boring? You have to work on it too, not just the person. One love, for sure. Talk soon, because I doing a supermarket review. I can only talk about supermarkets out here by me, where it's go. But I can open my mouth and tell where's some of the best places to buy certain stuff, because although I don't celebrate Christmas, I know people must be gonna be breaking off the neck and got the whole place hot and tired and bothered, full of people trying to get stuff. And it ain't in a sense you're gonna spend all of your money when you could be getting stuff cheaper elsewhere. One love.